What up, my boxing family? It's your boy Martine, aka the Boxing Purist. Welcome once again to the Truth and Absolute channel, where I speak the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me, good God Almighty. All right, y'all. Happy Thursday, man. Let's get right into this one. So, if you guys are on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, I'm on there now. Okay, you can follow me at Truth Absolute 86, just like that. Truth Absolute 86. It's actually in my description if I'm not too descriptive with it. So make sure to give me a follow on there. Anyway, man, so there's been a lot of back and forth between Keyshawn Davis and Tank Davis. The two have been going at it back and forth on Twitter, on X. It's funny, even Tank shared a little thing where he said, like, it's so funny, they're so humble at first, and it pretty much showed a message interaction between him and Keyshawn Davis while he was on his way up, saying, you know, pretty much that he's going to go out to Vegas and try to train with Tank and all those guys down there. But the trash talk has gotten real. I mean, these dudes got really personal. I'm talking about mamas. I'm talking about all that kind of stuff is being thrown into the mix. Oh, wow, Keyshawn Davis has a fight coming up tomorrow against Gustavo Daniel Lemos. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. I tend to butcher names at times. So this is really interesting, man. It's interesting for a few reasons because Keyshawn Davis, man, although I was watching some tape of the dude, and the dude is nice. He definitely has a nice style. He's pretty slick. He could counter. Again, he's only 11 fights in, though, so it's really hard to tell when a guy is only 11 fights in. Tomorrow will be a lot more telling, though, because the guy that he's facing is actually 29-1 with 19 KOs. He actually just got his first L, the last fight out. And he's not a big heavy hitter that's making a lot of noise in the game. Nonetheless, the man does have 29 fights, though, which is a good fight for Keyshawn Davis to gain some experience inside the ring with somebody that's been in the ring quite a bit. So I really hope this leads up to different things, man, because, again, Tank Davis, I think today's his birthday. Happy birthday to Tank. I think he just turned 30 years old today. Now, once you hit 30, man, okay, and this is what I've seen in the sport of boxing, after that, between 30 and 40, father time is bound to show up at any time. It's bound to show up at any time. I mean, there's a few cases where you're just like, bro, father time does not know where you live, like Bernard Hopkins when he was on his run, like on the second or third part of his career. The man was crazy. But I'm talking about Tank Davis, 30 years old, man. You don't know what father time is going to show up. And why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because, like I talked about yesterday and I've said in the past, Tank has a potential to do something special in the game, and he's just not doing it. And it would, I mean, as you see right now, they had to change the date. They had to change the venue, everything. Obviously, they see that Lamont Roach and Tank Davis would not be able to sell the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. So obviously, they had to pull out of that idea, and they had to combine it with David Benavidez. We all know the scoop. We all know the story about that. But what does that show? It's showing that the fans are finally starting to speak up. It's showing that they have a higher demand for Tank Davis. And Tank Davis should actually take that as a compliment because it's his supporters, it's the people around, it's me, a boxing fan, that really wants to see what you could do when you move up in weight, when you actually challenge yourself, when you put yourself in the ring with somebody that has us like this during fight night, knowing something could happen at any moment. And guess what, man? Keyshawn Davis, although he's way too early in his career, in my personal opinion, 11 fights in, man, he'll get his 12th one tomorrow. 7 KOs, he looks nice, he does all that kind of stuff, man. But the experience inside the ring is so important. It's the same thing that happens with these other fighters, man. It's almost like David Morrell going up against David Benavidez, which is coming up as well. David Benavidez has over 20 fights. I think it's 23, 24 fights or something. David Morrell only has 10 or 11 fights under his belt. Now, we could try to hype the fight for whatever it is, and I'm not taking nothing away from David Morrell, but the fact of the matter is no matter how good you are, you have to gain ring experience. That's something that is not given to you, okay? That's Vasily Lomachenko, his first fight, right? I think his first fight or second fight was against Orlando Salido. Now, Salido hit him with like a million low blows that fight, without a doubt, right? But Vasily should have been able to beat Salido no matter what style he brings, being Lomachenko and everything that he has in his bag as far as skills go. But he did not have the ring experience in a professional level, which cost him that fight, ultimately some bad officiating as well. But what I'm trying to say is that experience really matters, okay? So Keyshawn Davis, I love that he's calling out Tank Davis. I love that they're not trying to make the fight happen. I like that they're going at it on Twitter because it shows signs of what things can happen. But I would like to see him get a few more fights under him. The only problem with that is Tank Davis is 30 years old. Okay, Tank Davis is 30 years old, and sooner or later, he's going to have to take that step. Okay, sooner or later, he's going to have to take that step where they're not going to give him his flowers for just fighting whoever anymore and putting clauses on people. All that came out into the air, and people started viewing him a little different. It's just what happened. Ryan said it leading up to the fight about the weight clauses. Mario Barrios came out after the fact and said it. So people look at those kind of things, even though they try to brush them off for a little bit. So it's a good thing because we are going to get better fights, hopefully, from Tank Davis, okay? Keyshawn Davis has a nice style. Let me tell you something. I was watching, I believe it was his last fight out, and the dude is slick. The guy could roll. The guy could counter you. He could do all that. His form inside of there, I would say that he gets a little lazy with it. You know what I'm saying? I think that he has his hands low a little bit too much. Obviously, if he fought a Tank Davis, it'd be a different story. But we all seen Tank Davis inside that ring with that seek and destroy, right? And Keyshawn Davis happens to have a really good style to counter that in the way that he rolls with punches and in the way that he counter punches you. So I think it would be interesting. Nonetheless, it's that ring experience because, yes, I talk about Tank's resume. Yes, I talk about all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the experience that Tank has gotten from being inside that ring in all of his fights is still something that he learned. It's still something that he has in the bag over any fighter with just 11 fights. So it's going to be interesting. I want to know if Tank is going to be at that fight tomorrow. I highly doubt it, but it'd be great if he was. I mean, at the end of the day, he should be focused on his fight with little Lamont Roach anyway. I'm just saying it'd be super cool for the sport of boxing and just for the crowd in attendance. So that's all I got on this one, y'all. If you guys have not seen Keyshawn Davis fight, go look at his highlights. Watch his fight tomorrow. You will be impressed by dude. And he's not taking no punk tomorrow. He's not taking on a punk. Gustavo Daniel Limos, who is 29-1 with 19 KOs. It should be a really big step up fight, man. Y'all should definitely watch it. So before I go, though, remember, y'all, go follow me on X if you're not following me already. Truth Absolute 86. Okay, one more time. Truth Absolute 86. You can find me on X. Make sure to follow me there. I'll be back soon with y'all. Much love to y'all. God bless. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.